thoughts?
As we expected, it was a difficult game, a tough game. It's a tough game, place to come and play. As I think I said earlier in the week, I've never been here over the years, and I never had a comfortable game. It's a difficult place to come and play, and the surface itself, obviously, to play on presents, a problem in some regards. But that's something we face fairly often in the league. And I felt honestly early in the game, there wasn't a lot in the game, if I'm honest. I didn't think in the first 25 minutes. I think it took both teams a little bit of time to sort of get to grips with the way that the other team was playing and how to combat that. And the goal is obviously then a disappointing moment to concede in that time, because I didn't feel there was a lot else in the game. I think from 25, 30 minutes on, I thought we were the better team to finish the first half. We've said a few things at half time about some adjustments, both from a tactical point of view and from a bit of an energy point of view. And I felt second half we were the dominant team overall. I thought we, at the very least, deserved to get the goal and a point out of the game. I think we've hit the post, certainly in the second half. I don't know John's header, if it was off the post or maybe a save from the goalkeeper. But I think we were pushing the game in the second half. I felt we were the better team. I felt we established a good rhythm and some dangerous attacking opportunities in the second half. And then honestly, towards the end of the game, it was probably an exciting game to watch, because I actually thought both teams didn't settle for the point, and both teams went to try and win the game, and both maybe had a moment in that last 10 minutes. And that's all part of the emotion as well. But what I would say is, again, like I've said many times with this group this season, to go 1-0 down away from home, and then to not only fight and compete, but to play well second half, and to get another away point, and to not to lose a game away from home again. That's a good trait to have. So I'm really pleased with it.
You look at the first half. Obviously, you said the first 25 minutes or so there's not a lot in the game at all, but it took you between the third minute and stoppage time in terms of actually getting any shots off. What do you think were the biggest struggles there, just in terms of actually getting a shot off?
I think honestly, the way that we were playing from the deeper areas on the field, that we weren't able really to establish enough rhythm. I didn't feel in the first half there, and I felt we were maybe a little bit ponderous on the ball, maybe a little bit slow in possession. Also, the surface, I think, does put doubts in people's mind a little bit, and I think we maybe felt the option to go long a little bit too many times in that first half. But yeah, I mean, listen, I'll always say you're playing against a home team that are good players. And I think it was a combination of both. I think they did a good job of limiting us, and then just a little bit of maybe confidence to play the way that we can in the first half. And there's probably reasons behind that, honestly, in the players' minds. But again, we've addressed this at half time, and I've asked the players for confidence in themselves, and I've asked them to play in the second half. And again, we've made a couple of adjustments in terms of tactical arrangement in the game, which I felt worked well second half. And for all that maybe it took us a little while to get into the game, which I don't disagree with, I felt really from, like I say, the 30th minute onwards, I felt we were the better team and deserved at least a point.
Obviously, going into this one, you had to change with Rito because of him being suspended, but
yeah,
a few other changes in there as well. What was the thinking process behind those changes to starting 11?
I mean, we're going to make rotations and changes. It's a lot of, again, this is, I don't know how many away games in the last 6-8 weeks we've had, but players, we have good players who can play, and so the players that came in today in Pape and in JP, and then Fede in that pocket, they're good players, and we trust them. We trust all of them to play, and so there's some rotation, there's some management of some minutes a little bit involved with that, and then obviously always a little bit of feel for what we think is maybe best in today's game. And then again, we have good options off the bench, and that's I think the subs that came on tonight again did a good job, kept good energy in the game, and helped us establish, I think, a good rhythm of play and some dominance in the second half there. And so I say this a lot: players who start the game are important. Players who finish the game are just as important. It doesn't matter how many minutes a player plays; they are equally important to the quality and the energy that they bring. And everybody did that tonight.
Obviously, we saw Panos off the bench with that strike to equalise. Throughout the season, we've kind of seen him sometimes drop a lot deeper than we've seen in the past. How do you balance that with or just the balance in general between him dropping deeper to pick the ball up or staying further up the field?
Panos is a player that likes to receive the ball in some space, and sometimes that option to drift wider to pick it up then allows him to come inside onto his left foot, which obviously is an option that he likes to utilise, and he's very good with that. I think the goal almost comes from that sort of space where he picks it up in that right pocket and comes in onto his left foot. But it's not. I wouldn't say it's too much of a tactical arrangement for him to drop deeper. It's more where teams take away the space, and then on top of that, honestly, it's then some confidence, sometimes some bravery, and then some ability to receive in tight spaces, which Panos has good ability to do that. Fede has good ability to do that. We've seen them both play as 2-10s this season. We've seen them both play as single 10s, and this, for this game, Panos coming in off that right side is brings him into those same spaces. And I think maybe in this game, playing off the right side as positionally a little bit more of a winger, you might call him a winger, but the way that we arrange the team, and obviously we're bringing one on behind that, allows Panos to come inside, but from a winger role, so maybe slightly higher in the game. And then one we asked to go and play off him and play with him. And I felt in the second half we were able to create some good overloads on both sides. Mo with Gaia, and then Gabby with Gaia as well, and then with Fede and with Emi when he came on as well. We managed to get some good success moving the ball side to side in the second half, and Panos plays his role in that, of course. I'm really pleased that he gets the goal and scores the goal, and that's something we've asked more of him, and we will still ask more of him from all of our attacking players to really threaten the goal. And I think everybody had good moments tonight, and I'm pleased for him.
After the game, Panos saying he doesn't always understand some of the decision making in the league in terms of passing over Rocco for certain awards. He thinks he's the best goalkeeper in the league by far. Would you agree with that?
For Rocco?
For Rocco.
Right, not Panos. Okay. Listen, Rocco's a tremendous goalkeeper, and I've spoken a lot about Rocco. He's a very, very talented young goalkeeper who's done a very good job for us since he's been here. And yes, we're very pleased with him. Of course, achieved a lot with us last year. And I listen, every time I speak about Rocco, it would be wrong of me not to also speak about Patrick and Corey as well, who does a great job working with both of them. And as I've said previously, we have two very, very good goalkeepers in this club, and Rocco certainly is a very good one. And but listen, for sure deserves recognition, and that's something we could probably argue for a long time. But he's been a very good piece for us over the last couple of seasons, and long may that continue through the rest of the year.
And obviously, you told us that Remy had been in training this past week, but not here in the 18. What was the concern there that saw you leaving back in Phoenix?
Honestly, just simply that, he had been in training with us. He's completed a week of training, but just wasn't quite at a stage where competitive minutes was the right thing to rush him into. And that was, he's very close here. This is not something that, like I said last week, it's not something that is a long-term thing. And like I say, he's trained every day with us this week. But just from a final precaution point of view, we just we didn't feel it was the right decision, looking a little bit longer term for the rest of the season, to just rush him back into competitive minutes slightly too early. We didn't want to take that risk, and as much as we would obviously love to have Remy here with us this weekend, I think we made a decision that we felt was the correct one for him and the correct one for the team with a longer term view.